Hello, beautiful people. This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to the Hood Astro Queen. To all of my returning subscribers, if this is your first time joining me on my page today, be sure to hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell. That way you will be alerted whenever I make a new post, okay? And also for personal readings, go ahead and email me at astroworld, that's ASTRO WERLD at gmail.com, and we can book you a reading one today. Okay, so I'm not even going to keep y'all long with this video, but I was moved to chorus. This is kind of impromptu. I've been meaning to get on Boosie's ass for a minute now, alright? I just never really got around to it, but like I said, it was kind of impromptu because today I came across like the 15th video of him addressing the gay community, like in a roundabout way. So basically, for those of y'all who are not aware, Lil Boosie is a rapper, a Louisiana-based rapper. I've grew up on his music, like, you know, being from the South. I'm not even gonna lie, like Boosie is he has been one of my childhood heroes as far as music is concerned. I mean, this man is, and I hate to do the like cliche Tupac comparisons because I feel like it's overdone and there's literally only one Tupac. However, of all of the rappers the world has seen post Tupac Shakur, Boosie would have to be the closest like the world has ever seen in so many ways. Okay, he's a street rapper, but he's also very much, he has this appeal to him that made him very likable. He definitely was a compassionate soul, and people just really gravitated towards his music, and it had a lot of depth to it. You know, he rapped about typical street shit, but he found a way to do so while still giving us our medicine with our candy. You know what I mean? He was one of the few artists to do it without sounding very preachy. And I mean, I love his music. I'm not gonna front. Like, I fuck with Boosie's music the hard way. So he went to prison back in, I want to say 2008, 9, and he actually was charged with murder. So he served maybe like 6 years or something to that degree and was released in 2013 or 14. And ever since then, his music career has been very, very cold. I wouldn't even say lukewarm. He actually released an album recently and only sold 3,000 copies, all right, and hopped on his live stream and cussed everybody out. So, I mean, that just is what it is. However, his legacy remains and all that good shit. Now, I've noticed over the years, Lil Boosie, during his interviews, he's been very, very, very vocal on homosexuality. And I'm not talking about like one video. And granted, I'm very liberal minded. So whenever I hear someone speaking negatively of the homosexual community, it does annoy me. But everybody is entitled to their opinions. And if that's your opinion, then that's your opinion. Okay? We all have one. They're like assholes. However, multiple interviews, okay, we're talking maybe 3 and upwards, 3, 4, 5, perhaps even 6 interviews that I've seen of him where he's going out of his way to talk about homosexuals, and it triggered a red flag for me. Now, the first interview was, I believe, when he had first come out and he was with Vlad on Vlad TV, and he was talking about how when he was in prison he saw a gay man or 2 men in a cell fucking each other, right? And he recounts this experience, and he's like, yeah, that was so nasty, man. I walked past such and such, and I saw a nigga riding another nigga dick, and I was like, ugh. Okay, it's like, okay, fine. All right, he's talking about his prison experiences. Then he comes out later in another interview and is like, yeah, the homosexuals are trying to take over. They're trying to make our kids gay. Then he comes out in another video talking about how gay stuff is everywhere and he's not with that gay shit. Then he'll do more interviews and, you know, he'll be talking about like artists at the moment and who's gay and who's not gay. And then most recently today, he did a video, I guess, on his Instagram, and was saying that, oh, well, 20 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a gay president. It's just so much gay stuff. It's so much gay shit. And it's like, sir, what is your tea? The gay person hurt you. Did the gay person hurt your children? were you touched, or like were you harmed? What is it about gay people that really moves you to chorus every time I look up? It's just weird. And so, even putting my own personal feelings aside, okay, I took a look at his birth chart and I found some honestly, it made everything make sense. And once again, I'm not the type, if I have a personal opinion on something and I do a reading of someone's chart, I'm perfectly fine with integrating that new information to shape my worldview or my opinion on something. But however, it just so happens that in this instance, it kind of validated what I already felt to be true. And we're going to talk about that, okay? So, Lil Boosie was born on November 14th, 1982 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm not sure of his time of birth. If anybody has that, or if you've ever come across one, go ahead and drop it down in the comment section below. But for now, we'll just work with what we have. So, first off, Boosie is very extraordinary in the sense that this man has a mean-ass Scorpio stellium. His sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter are all in Scorpio. And just really after looking at that was my first aha moment. Scorpio is, number one, the sign of criminality. That's first and foremost. And Boosie is very, you could tell that he's very plugged into street life. Maybe not as much now as an adult or as a quote-unquote celebrity or entertainer, but he definitely came from like rough and humble beginnings. His music is a prime reflection of that. And then also, Scorpio represents death. And when you look at his music, or just listen to his music, listen to his catalog, that's literally like 80% of his music. He's talking about the darker side of life, criminal activity, and he does it in a way where you actually want to listen to it. Okay, he does an amazing job. As a matter of fact, he actually has a song I remember called, I think it's called Hospital. Like, this man was literally rapping about how he's gonna put somebody in the hospital. How it go? I put you in the hospital, lay you up for weeks, have you breathing out a tube, fucking fool. I put you in the grave, nigga. Like, he literally talks about putting people in the grave, and it's so graphic. And I guess you could argue a lot of rappers do talk about the same thing as far as like shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, but Boosie will describe death in a way, or killing somebody in a way that is very like visual, step by step, very just like intense, like you can envision it in your mind. Like, he spent a lot of his focus and a lot of his content on things like death, like killing people. And so it's no wonder that's exactly what he went to prison for. It's not a surprise. Murder. Scorpio is the sign of criminality, murder, all of those things. So that was very fitting, very consistent with this Scorpio stellium. And I actually recall one of his 50,000 baby mothers put him on blast for allegedly killing her brother. And I don't know if that's the murder that he went to prison for, but I mean, he's even bragged about killing people. He's bragged, and I think he was talking about the same person on his live stream, like bragging and taunting dead men, saying things like, that's why you're dead, that's why you have maggots eating on you, that's why you're stinking under the ground, that he can't say nothing, go dig them up. Like, just really crazy morbid shit like that is so Scorpio. Also, Scorpio deals with demonic activity, and I actually wouldn't even be surprised that with this Scorpio stellium, if Boosie hasn't been possessed at some point. And when I say possession, we're not talking about what you see in Hollywood films, all right? Him sitting up with his head turned around and him throwing up green vomit and screaming and shit. Possession is literally the act of your body serving as a portal or a host to a lower vibrational entity. And of course, it can manifest in a variety of different ways, but that's a different video for a different day. But Scorpio is also the sign of demonic activity. So that's just that on that. But taking it back to his aspects, his sun is conjoined to his Jupiter, which does intensify a lot of these scorpionic traits. It could also point towards the reinvention of his identity, that Scorpio sun. It also makes him extremely spiritual and very strong, or very willful, should I say, about his religious convictions. And that makes sense too, because it could lead towards somebody who is very vocal about the things that they feel strongly about. And Scorpio is very intense and passionate about the things that it resonates with, especially when you have his sun conjoined to his Mercury. It could deal with him being very outspoken about these things, which you could relate towards, or connect back towards him being so adamant about speaking about gay people, you know. But his sun conjoined to his Mercury could also deal with him being a rapper, and it could also point towards him just being susceptible to stirring up controversy just from talking too fucking much. It's also worth mentioning that Mercury in Scorpio is a type of placement that could produce a person who, if they are not stimulating their mind, if they're not being actively like challenged and engaged psychologically, they can tend towards like being troublemakers. They can have very deviant minds, okay? And the fact that his Mercury is at the 18th degree kind of just highlights that, as the 18th, or the number 18, could be a rather unfortunate number. It can denote a rather shady individual, or someone who surrounds themselves with shady individuals. It can also point towards where somebody is rather hypersexual, or even materialistic. And then even when you take the number 18 and break it down, the number 1 is the sun, so it gives off a lot of Leo energy, and it can make one a leader, very dominant and original. It can also give him an excessive, a huge, overly inflated ego. And then the number 8, which is of Saturn, so it deals with Capricorn primarily. You know, Saturn co-rules Aquarius, but it's typically like it gives that Capricorn energy, which does reinforce him. It could point towards him being a good business person, like a businessman, but alternatively, it can make him someone who's rather controlling, militant, and who enjoys punishing other people. Also has a Scorpio moon, as stated before, which can point towards love-hate relationships with women. His Mars is at the 10th degree of Capricorn, which does reinforce this theme of him being a businessman, okay? And it makes him ultra concerned with his status, reputation, and material success. It also points towards him being somebody who is very much, he can even be like a traditionalist when it comes to the things that like how he views the world. You know, he can have a very old-fashioned kind of perception of things, which does make sense as it pertains to the whole the gay thing and his distaste for gay people, and you know, so on and so forth. Let's get to the juicy shit. Okay, so this is really where I was like, aha, okay. His asteroid Lie, and Lie is pretty self-explanatory. It's an asteroid that points towards deception, or where somebody could literally just not honest about something. His asteroid lies at the 13th degree of Libra and is squaring his Mars. And that could point towards there being something deceitful or disingenuous surrounding the manner in which he expresses his sexuality. And once again, taking it back to Mars and Capricorn being overly concerned with status and reputation and the way that things look and their appearance. So there's that. His asteroid Myra, I believe is how you pronounce that, which deals with relationships that go against natural law. So homosexuality, bestiality, even pedophilia. Of course, I'm not saying all of these things are the same from a moral standpoint, but like I said, from just what, as far as what's natural and what quote unquote natural and what's not kind of thing, that's where this asteroid can kind of point you in the direction of. So his asteroid Myra is at the 9th degree of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of homosexuality, so there's that. And then that number 9 is governed by Mars, which is very much like male, masculine, Aries energy. And it could possibly even denote there being some type of sexual attraction to men. Because I'm not sure of his exact birth time, I'm a little leery at using the aspects that involve his moon, just because the moon could be up to 8 degrees off if the correct birth time is not used. However, I just found it very fitting that in this case his Myra is squaring his moon. So like, assuming that this is the correct birth time that I use, the mock birth time that I use, this could even point towards or reinforce this theme here, like of same-sex attraction, as it could create dissonance, like cognitive and emotional dissonance. It could cause internal and emotional conflict, and obviously he could find himself at odds with his attraction for women versus his attraction for men. So, you know, interesting. And it could create this kind of cognitive dissonance as it pertains to his career and his reputation as well. Now, his asteroid Eros is at the 27th degree of Sagittarius, and it's actually conjoined to his Neptune, and it denotes a strong sexual nature, number one, but it also definitely reinforces there being illusions. Neptune is the planet of illusions, deceptions, lies, and cover-ups. Okay, there being some type of illusions or deceptions surrounding his sexual desires. This could even deal with him being attracted to trans women. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that Lil Boosie is gay, because I don't think that he is gay himself, but I do think that he does have hidden, I would even say either urges or thoughts, like sexual thoughts, homosexual thoughts that he suppresses. There's something there, okay? And I mean, it's really not a surprise. Projection 101. It literally, it works every time. It happens every time. Whenever you see somebody projecting that hard, going that hard, and I had a conversation with a few people on social media about this. It's one thing to not like something, because, you know, that's like the first complaint that a lot of like the hotep or people who are just so anti-gay, that's the first thing they say, like, oh, you're forcing us to like things and trying to force us to accept things. You cannot like whatever the fuck you don't like. But guess what? If you don't like it, don't do it. You don't like gay people, don't be gay. Don't participate in gayness if that's what you don't like. If you don't like something, you even have the right to say, if it comes up in conversation, nah, not my thing, not my cup of tea, I don't really rock with it. But when you spend a lot of your energy and your time going on the offense and dehumanizing a group of people, vilifying a group of people, speaking out against a group of people all the time, it kind of causes one to look at you. Like, what is it about you that resonates with this group of people that you claim to hate so much that you have to dedicate that much of your time towards speaking negatively on them, all right, or trying to conduct some type of propaganda or trying to prove some type of point? Because if you don't fuck with gay shit, you're like, you just don't be gay. Don't fuck with gay shit. But you're still refocusing and directing a lot of your attention on that, and more often it's to kind of alleviate or offset some of the cognitive dissonance or any type of internal conflict you might be feeling on the inside. And like I said, you know, a lot of Boosie's chart definitely reiterates that and reinforces that. So, you know, once again, just to protect myself, allegedly, I'm not claiming that Boosie is having sex with men on the side, but he definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks about it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's had some experiences that secretly make him question certain things on the inside. So, you know, and the stars don't lie. There's something he's not being 100% truthful about. And yeah, he's just predisposed towards certain ideas, certain thoughts. And it just is what it is. Like, it is what it is. So y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this reading. Yeah, I got a couple more videos lined up for you guys. So stick around. Make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.